Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So the Washington Commanders have signed a few undrafted free agents. One defensive lineman, mostly a defensive tackle, has some flexibility. I believe they also signed a cornerback, offensive lineman. So let's get into it in today's video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well. I'm going to be posting a bunch of different stuff. So if you want to, watch it, go ahead and watch, hit that like button, but most importantly, that notification bell so you never miss a video. So they signed UCF defensive tackle Ricky Barber is the first guy I want to talk about. You look at his, positional breakdown. Was defensive line for most of his career, and then defensive tackle a couple different years, which 2024 basically just played defensive tackle. The other years is defensive line, which usually means there's a little bit of flexibility, between the positions. And sorry if I'm looking at my phone, just making sure that no other, big free agent signings happen, undrafted free agent signings. Definitely keeping a lookout for Gabe Taylor. There was some rumors circulating about him going to the Eagles, but I believe that is fake, but we will see. But yeah, played defensive tackle for UCF. 12 games this past year, 2.5 sacks. Defensive tackles don't get a ton of sacks. Had 6 TFLs. A year before, played 10 games, 1.5 sacks. Had 4 sacks for Western Kentucky as a freshman. He's been in the league, or he was in college for a while, 6 years. Undrafted, we'll see what he does. It's going to be a crowded defensive tackle room, so I would guess he probably goes more into the tries to at least play a little bit of edge, see if he can go out there. He's 290 pounds, so definitely a little bit big for edge, especially being 6'3", so probably not. I'm just throwing ideas out there. He'll most likely be the defensive tackle, but wanted to talk about him. And then the Commanders are expected to sign former Florida State cornerback Fentrell Cypress as an undrafted free agent, so adding another, guy to the secondary. Trey Amos is on the squad now. Fentrell Cypress, Florida State. You look at his numbers, nothing crazy, but the athletic score is pretty good. 40-yard dash time was a 4.43 unofficial. Height is pretty good for a cornerback, about 6'1". Weight is pretty bad. 181 for a cornerback is not great. That's not approaching Forbes territory, but it's close. It's in that realm. I know Forbes was like 165 heading into the draft, but still, 181 is not great for someone that's 6'1". Vertical jump was great. Broad jump was decent. 3-cone was very good. Shuttle wasn't. So that's really it. I don't want to, do a whole breakdown of these undrafted free agents, film stuff, because first off, not a lot of them are going to make the team, and second off, we don't know a ton about them. So, we'll go over the basics. There's one other guy. So, NC State offensive lineman Tim McKay is signing to the Commanders for an undrafted free agent deal. Decent signing there. Was apparently projected to be a mid-round pick, and then he tore his pec at the pro day, which obviously sucks for him because, he ended up losing out on a lot of money, but it's a good signing for the Commanders. Maybe they keep him under the practice squad or whatever for a year and see what he can do next year. Lance Newmark, talking with the media squad right now, says they had a vision for Jalen Lane, a unique instinct with the ball in his hands on offense in the return game. I was surprised with the amount of people hating on the Jalen Lane pick. I think he's going to be very good. I think it was a very good draft pick, probably my favorite out of all the days. Even though for y'all it might not be, for me I really like it. Just I obviously have a little bit of a bias, or a little bit of bias being a Hokie myself, but overall I think the draft was very good. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Maybe not very good, but it was good. It was a good draft class. Edge rusher was the only thing they were lacking from this class. So Josh Connerly, Trey Amos, Jalen Lane, and then you got Kane Madrano, and then Jacare Krosky Merritt running back. So overall, a very good, a good to very good draft, depending on how you look at it. If you're upset with them not getting edge, then maybe you don't think it's a very good draft. You think it's an okay or a good draft. But I think if you're not going to draft one on day one or even day two, edge in on day 3. You're not really going to find a great starter on day 3. It's very rare. It's much more common to find a stud guard, stud running back, linebacker on day 3. So just something to keep in mind. Doesn't mean you can't. Because there have been some guys like Max Crosby that are able to be a stud when they're a 5th round pick. But that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.